Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Welcome to the good life.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are bringing it to you. Are you your authentic self? Are you? We have Dr. Brian Turner back in the studio today. We're excited to have you here, Brian. Welcome back. You said you felt like a virgin because you hadn't been here in a while. You'd been on the phone. So he is in the studio, and we have Uche in the studio as well. I have the guys with me this morning, and we are about to break it down for you. I don't know if any of you all have been following me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, but if you do not follow me on social media, you absolutely should. I give you the updates, and I'll let you know what the show is going to be about the next day, and I kind of get your mind in the mode to have the discussion. So Brian's like, so I've been kind of posting a couple of things to kind of get your mind right, because we really want to talk about today. We want to drop those questions on you that are going to clear your decision makings with regards to your relationships. One of the hardest decisions you'll ever face in life is choosing whether to walk away or try harder. Another one I dropped is, the more you love your decisions, the less you need others to love them. These are just little nuggets to, get your mind working this morning on Relationship Tuesday. Do what is right, not what is easy. Things that make you go, I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. How many times do we make decisions when we're angry? How many times do we make decisions when we're angry? Too many. Sometimes we need to just stop and do nothing. I know a lot of times people are like, nothing, they don't want to do nothing. Nothing is sometimes the best option.
Yeah.
Because when you react, you generally I should not have done that, or I should not have made that decision. So we're going to bring up these questions, to really get your mind working about, should you be in that relationship? My first question for all of you are you your authentic self when you're in a relationship or when you're around that person? Does that person inspire you to be the best version of who you are? Wow. Brian, I'm going to let you go with that first because I know that's right up your alley.
So I think there's that thing when you were sending these, we had a few back and forths about some thoughts, and as you, kind of cleared it up again, it just really hit me, the idea of, if I can define my authentic self, if I can know what truly moves me, motivates me, if I know what gets me up in the morning and why I can go to bed and sleep well at night, then I'm easily able to make that happen. I'm easily able to discern whether I want to be in a relationship with someone. I don't have to go through the ups and downs of drama or anxiety or unhappiness to know where I stand. So I think when I'm real with me, I ain't gotta question what I do. When I know that this is why I'm here and this is what I'm here for, I can easily as it says, I can cut people off without explaining it to them because we're too old for this.
Right.
I don't have to beg or I don't have to question myself with why I'm doing something.
Right.
At the end of the day, and I'm gonna pull that right from Uche's book. If I know who I am, I ain't gotta tell you nothing. I can do what I need to do for me. I don't have to beg you to be in my life. I can roll out. You can roll out. So.
Exactly. Go ahead, Uche.
Man, I'm authentic self, really?
Yeah.
This morning?
Yeah. I mean, it's a big topic because I think so many of us.
Well, it's a big topic, but it really shouldn't be a big topic.
I understand, but it is.
No,
everybody hasn't had the luxury of, we get together.
Everybody hasn't had the luxury
Tuesday.
of loving themselves?
Yes.
That's not a luxury.
Well, everybody.
It's a privilege.
It is.
It's a privilege.
And everybody doesn't take that privilege because sometimes
Shame
they
on
don't
who?
feel. Sometimes they don't feel
Shame on
that.
who?
But you can't shame someone for that.
Shame on yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be taken from them. Sometimes.
But you have to build that back. If somebody took it from you, I understand that it was taken, but what are you going to do about it?
But
That's
shaming
the $1 million.
shaming somebody into doing it isn't going to make them do it any faster. It's
No,
just like
it's-
maybe losing weight or wanting to give up
wait,
cigarettes or alcohol.
Wait.
Good.
Because the question was authentic self.
Okay.
Authentic self has nothing to do with anybody else. Things can be taken from you. Things can be taken from you. Things can happen to you in life. But you have to have the confidence in yourself to build yourself back up. And usually these things happen because you lost sense of self somewhere in something in the first place.
I would have to really disagree.
Of course you would.
You know, everything about being your authentic self, a great deal of not being your authentic
And
self.
welcome, Ty. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce you.
That's okay. Does come from external forces.
In your life.
Of forcing.
But
Correct.
but she's speaking to her listeners.
No, in her life, though.
In my opinion, every
Yeah,
bit
thank you.
of someone
Because you
being.
did cut me off when I was talking about mine. So I just want to make sure you're saying in your life. That's all.
But as you're speaking to yours.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Ty.
Everyone, in my opinion, the being your authentic self and becoming your authentic self and feeling comfortable in that space has a great deal to do with external forces, such as perceptions of who you should be, within your workplace. What society encourages us to believe what are the norms of acceptable behavior in female relationships, in work relationships. There's a great deal of exterior forces that in my opinion make it difficult for one to be their authentic self, especially I would say a black woman, in my opinion. And I definitely feel as though it's about you getting to know more of yourself. It's about you building a better and stronger relationship with your God or whoever you believe your supreme being is and who you worship. And accepting the fact that I am okay exactly the way that I am and that God made me this way.
Well,
And the reason why I disagree with what you're saying, Uche, is because it's easier said than done in the context in which you said it. People just need to have self-confidence. There are millions of people that lack self-confidence.
I do it every day.
That are depressed.
It's a deliberate choice
as a result of many different
effort.
things.
But you have to be compassionate to those who aren't there yet.
What did I say is not compassionate? It's like get it in gear, man. You got to do it. You have to do it.
You do, but you have to be compassionate to those who aren't on that level yet.
One of the things that I oftentimes, an analogy I often use is a house of mirrors. At the carnival that we would go to, you go to, and there's the house of mirrors.
You're telling your age because I didn't go to that.
Yeah,
I'm just playing.
Yeah, you did.
It's okay. It's okay. That's fine. I look good, but I think about that house of mirrors, right? Now you think about what would happen when you go through the house of mirrors. You have the different mirrors that have different shapes. It would stretch you. It would, elongate you. It would make your face funny. But I think in life what happens, just as we're talking about it when being authentic, we oftentimes, to Uche's point, will use others, unfortunately, to give us that sense of self. So if you're using mirrors that are broken, that are cracked, that are dirty, that has parts missing, that has pieces missing, then the only way you'll look at yourself is broken, dirty, parts missing, misshapen.
Exactly.
And at some point in time, you have to construct mirrors that are whole, that are clean, that are accurate. And those people, and to Uche's point, that's when you have to be able to discern people who really want to pour into you and keep you healthy. You have to find those people who will give you that authentic self. Now, at the end of the day, you do have to select and choose and get off the sofa, stop playing video games, get a job. You have to stop seeking out easy ways, and you have to seek out sometimes the hard ways to solidify your sense of self. But I use that mirror analogy because that's what we do too often. We think, well, I'm broken because all the people around me are broken, and that's who I am. When in reality, you don't have to be broken if you seek out whole mirrors. And that's the hard part. Who do you seek out for those whole mirrors? Who do you seek out for that real sense of who you are that can reflect that back to you?
Well, that's exactly what we're doing today because we are going to pose those questions. And all of them aren't going to be answered. We're not answering all of them because it's a host of questions that I really want you to think about. And I'm going to be posting them through social media throughout the day. So follow us on The Good Life Radio Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The Good Life Radio Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That'll be TGL Radio Show on Instagram and Twitter, TGL Radio Show on Instagram and Twitter. And I will be putting these questions out there. So the first group of questions are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Do you like how this person treats you? Are you a priority in their life? Do they respect me? Do I feel safe around them? Does this person accept me for who I am? This is the one we were just discussing. Am I being my authentic self around them? Can I express myself freely when difficult situations come up? Do I feel secure when we're together and when we're not together? That's a double-edged sword. Do they inspire me to be the best version of myself? We're going over questions that you should be asking yourself when you're in a relationship or when you're about to enter a relationship. Do they encourage and support what I want in life? Are they genuinely happy for me when good things happen to me? Can I live with their quirky behaviors? Do I like them the way that they are if they never, ever change? Do I have fun with them? Do I like who I am with, and do I like myself without them? Do I feel uplifted when we're together? Do I feel free to pursue my passions? Do I have alone time, and do I spend time with family and friends? Do my family and friends care for them? Do I like his family or her family and friends? And can I see us growing together? This first segment, we're kind of focusing on us and the questions we should be asking ourselves when we're with somebody. Do we ask ourselves these questions? And if we asked ourselves these questions, would we necessarily even like the answers that we came up with? And could we be honest enough with ourselves to give these answers full and wholeheartedly so we can be our authentic self? Because today's show is about asking yourselves questions to make clearer decisions about your relationships. And you can, present these questions for your life, for your passions, for your career, for any aspect of your life. But of course, it's Relationship Tuesday, so we're going to focus on those. Are you asking yourself these questions? Brian, do you like the way that you are with and without them? Should we be asking ourselves these questions?
I always ask myself that question, and honestly, that's probably why I'm single. It's because all too often when I ask myself that question, I find that's a struggle. And if there's something about that other person that doesn't allow me to be all of me, then I respectfully give them their default papers.
As Uche would say.
And when we move on. And yeah, I am. I'm always going to be my authentic self. But sometimes there's that process. It may take, like I said, I try to not have long, lengthy processes of finding it out, but I think sometimes you give it a little trial test. You try to test the waters and see how it works. And at the point of realizing, this just isn't, I'm just not being me, then it's easy to, press eject.
I think one of the best questions is, do I like how they treat me? Sometimes you really sit back, do I like how the person treats me?
But I think sometimes that might be the reason why sometimes people stay in situations they shouldn't, because there's something.
And I don't mean you're one day a week.
No.
I mean how they
that's
treat
what I'm saying.
you.
Like they may make you feel good, but
that one day a week.
See yourself,
but for the other 360,
right. But do you see yourself long term? Do you see yourself being able to maintain this? If someone has different aspirations for you, career wise, family wise, life wise, faith wise, they may come bringing you breakfast every morning. They can come bearing gifts and shower you with love. But if you can't be you, then
that's number 20. Can I see us growing old together?
That's my number one.
So, Ty?
I definitely think, all of the questions that you just posed are key questions that everyone should ask of themselves at some point in their life when they're in the middle of a relationship, considering, coming out of a relationship. And they are key questions that, in my opinion, determine the difference between a healthy and a toxic relationship.
Exactly. That's why we're having these conversations.
Let me tell you.
If any of these questions are like touching a nerve, we just want you to reflect on it.
That could be a red flag, pink flag, or it may not be a flag at all for you. But if you really, really, reflect and meditate on those questions, that is a sign that you're searching
right.
for some degree of happiness for yourself.
Here's another one I love. Do I feel safe around them?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big question.
Yeah. And I can say, throughout the course of my life, it wasn't until over 30 where I was able to ask most of those questions all at one time. But I think, as you grow and evolve as a person and you come in and out of relationships, you sometimes only ask some of those questions.
Right.
And it's not until you're really seeking and searching for something long lasting that you reflect you reflect much longer on all of that. And I can honestly say compatibility. Yeah, compatibility really is about, does that person make it easy for me?
And Uche, your final thought on this before we head out, the questions that you need to ask yourself.
I'm at a loss. I'm like, I can't connect with the conversation because I'm like.
You already do these things.
Yeah, so.
Gotcha. Well, we are about to head into a break. The next questions are going to be the questions that you ask about the other person. What does that other person do for you? Do they have any red flags? One of my favorite ones is that person your real friend? Are they your friend? That's a basic one. These are the questions you want to ask when you're in a relationship to make clear decisions. This is The Good Life. This is Relationship Tuesday, and we'll be right back.
L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today.
Eric Caulfield represents a new kind of leadership for the state Senate. He's honest, independent, dedicated to public service, and his qualifications are impeccable. Eric is a Morehouse man, graduating Phi Beta Kappa and earned his master's and PhD degrees from MIT. He was appointed by President Barack Obama to serve as a White House Fellow and served as Chief Policy Advisor to former Newark Mayor Cory Booker. He's an urban planner, scientist, inventor, loyal Democrat, and today a candidate for the Louisiana State Senate. Eric's work for President Obama here in New Orleans resulted in $4 million in construction jobs, street improvement, housing for nearly 70 homeless New Orleanians, and a renewed commitment to helping the people he wants to serve.
That is why I went into government, to get things done. I'm Eric Caulfield, and I'll bring a new kind of leadership to the state Senate.
Vote for Eric Caulfield, number 41, State Senate, District 4. Paid for by the committee to elect Eric Caulfield.
Sick and tired. We're all sick and tired of Bobby Jindal cutting our schools, keeping tens of thousands from getting health care while he runs for president. That's why so many of us are voting for Democrat John Bel Edwards. John Bel Edwards is the only candidate for governor who supports an increase in the minimum wage, who voted for equal pay for women, and John Bel stood up to Bobby Jindal when he attacked our hospitals and universities. David Vitter and the Republicans all oppose even a small minimum wage increase and equal pay for women. They would be just like Bobby Jindal, and we can't have that. Election Day is Saturday, October 24th. Early voting starts October 10th and goes through October 17th. If you are sick and tired of Bobby Jindal, vote for Democrat John Bel Edwards. Paid for by Louisiana Families First, not paid for or authorized by any candidate or candidate committee.
Universal Printing in New Orleans East is the place to go for all of your digital printing needs. Universal Printing offers a wide range of printing services and promotional products. They handle everything from business cards to personalized prescription pads. They even print yard signs, banners, and vehicle magnets. Stop by Universal Printing at 9900 Lake Forest Boulevard in New Orleans East near Reed. Or give them a call at 504-244-1177. That's 504-244-1177. Come on down to Universal Printing and let the experts handle all of your printing, marketing, and promotional needs so you don't have to.
need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh from my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Talk radio heard around the globe. New Orleans Zone, WBOK 1230 AM and WBOK1230AM.com. Real talk for real times.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life. We are here on Relationship Tuesday. And if you're in a relationship, or you're thinking about getting in a relationship, or you're thinking about getting out of a relationship, this is a great show for you today because we are asking those questions and we are prompting you to ask those questions of yourself to make those clear decisions so that you can live the good life. So, and sometimes, unfortunately, I know we don't like to hear this, so everybody else around you can live the good life too, because sometimes your relationships roll over into, your family, your children, to everybody else. And if it's a toxic relationship, sometimes, you spread that negativity. So let's start reeling that in. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's be our authentic selves so we can live the good life. We're going to jump into the questions that you should be asking of your partner, your significant other, Brian, you're raising your head because we were playing around during the break.
Yeah, actually, I want to play. I like what Uche said, and I want to put it out to guide us, maybe.
Okay, go ahead.
I think Uche made a great point about really what's the struggle for people not being able to be their authentic self. And I think it's
not able to ask these questions?
Not able to ask these questions, yeah.
Okay.
What stops them? What hinders them? So I think as we think about it, that would be a good, kind of umbrella to say, what will guide us? So I think that's a good point. Why wouldn't somebody be able to be their authentic self and ask these questions? And then what would stop somebody? Or
fear.
Go ahead. Yeah, fear. Yeah, trauma.
What stops you from asking these questions? Fear.
Trauma.
Fear, trauma, exactly.
Lack of experience.
Lack of acceptance.
In personal relationships, when someone's dating, I think, you observe each other's what they do and what they don't do. And sometimes some of your behaviors or actions, the person you're dating may respond negatively toward that. And you're like, oh, I guess I can't do that. Or,
and if they respond negatively, then maybe you should be like,
Exactly. It creates a layer and it prohibits you from being your authentic self. Oh, he seems to make a face every time I swear. Or, I notice that he doesn't like when I get loud and I raise my voice and I show emotion and excitement. It's normal in human relations to play off of one another and find out what works for that person and vice versa.
But if your authentic self is that you like to curse and your partner doesn't like you to curse, does that mean you shouldn't curse?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you learn what is acceptable and or unacceptable or undesirable
There is
behavior.
no unacceptable and unacceptable. It's only what's acceptable to you. If you like cursing, then be accountable.
Well, that's
you may
why
not be the person you might not be with the person you're gonna be with by being your authentic self. That's what I'm saying.
No, I agree
by
with that.
being your authentic self, you might miss out.
And that
Things
is
may happen. You
and
may be at a
Uche,
disadvantage by
You're
being
right.
your authentic self. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
You are absolutely true. I'm answering your question as it relates to what could prohibit someone from being their authentic self.
Nothing.
That's not true. I'll be the first to admit it. For everyone out there, it wasn't until I was over 30 years old that I was comfortable being my authentic self in the workplace. It was a challenge for me to feel 100% comfortable with how I conducted myself in interpersonal relationships in the workplace. As a black woman, that is a challenge because we are observed. Every emotion we exhibit in the workplace can be misconstrued, misperceived. So there was a great deal of work that has to be put in on the front end to combat any stereotypes and generalizations that society may have of a black woman.
I'm going to jump back into these questions about him, and then we can kind of, fill up this conversation
And her.
as to, yes, him and her.
her.
I'm sorry. Brian. Thank you, Dr. Turner, for bringing me back. We're going to bring up the questions you should be asking of your partner, him or her. And these questions... Oh gosh, I just lost my phone. So go back to what you were saying.
So I was messing with Eileen about this. I'm sorry I take this moment, but I was messing with Eileen because she kept saying him. I was like, well, do herses ever come up? Because you keep going on these hises. But I think that the dilemma is actually bearing out in this conversation this morning is that it is tough to be your authentic self if you're not your authentic self. That at the end of the day, if I can't be all of me, then I have to figure out what's going on with that. I have to.
Well, I think, Brian, the big thing is in my life, I eliminate people out of my life that I can't be my authentic self with. First of all, that's the main thing. It's like, look, if I can't be myself around you, I don't need to be around you.
And that's why we're asking these questions today. That's Uche, thank you. That's the entire point of this conversation.
But
because
it's very easy.
It's
not easy for you.
But you know what?
You can't keep saying, no, it's not, and this, and I disagree. That's you.
I will say
so
this.
So me being my authentic self, no, it works for me.
It's not always easy when you're younger unless you have someone around you who shows you the way. Can we say that? And you probably had people around you that were like, no, this is how you should be. And so it was easier for you. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't have that.
No, I witnessed people around me that weren't their authentic self.
So
I witnessed, I'm like, man, I'm like, that happened. And it's like, don't do that. And you see what happened there and so on and so forth. I'm like, no, I'm going to be me. I'm like, it is what it is. Look, chips going to fall.
But can we agree then that there has to be some either direct or indirect experiences that will shape that?
Ooh.
Yes.
Look at you, Dr. Turner, being a doctor this morning.
Yes.
So I think if we can agree to that, then I think we all have that point then is that we all think you should be practicing your most authentic self 99.99999% of the time, all because we're human. There could be that error. But in fact, there are those moments where if we hadn't, I think about, I didn't make it to the NFL. I never dreamed of going to the NFL. I really just wanted to play football and have fun. Mm-hmm. And I remember guys that I played with, man, why are you not working? Well, because that's not my authentic self. I want to be a doctor.
That's not your thing.
Right. I want to be a doctor. I want to go to class. I want to chill. I want to kick it. I don't want to be a professional football player. Now, of course, it sounded great, right? Like, I think about it now and I wish, damn, maybe I should have been in the gym a little longer. Maybe I should have ran some more. But when I look at the fact that a lot of the guys I played with, none of them are in the NFL. So maybe they just took a little bit longer to get to their authentic selves because they all have jobs and careers that are not in that professional
the question
league.
is, were they being authentic or did they want something that somebody else wanted or somebody else wanted for them?
But the last thing I would say is I don't know if I can answer that for them or not. I think I know when I look at it, when they questioned me and wondered why I wasn't doing something that they thought I should be doing, it was a fight. I
because the question is posed back. Like,
right.
What about you?
Me. Right. Right, and I remember, like, I'll tell this story off air, but I remember somebody when I was a freshman at Southern who really challenged me about my athletic ability, and I was like, well, bro, I mean, I'm on scholarship my freshman year. You just got on
We're
scholarship.
talking about relationships.
No, this is authentic stuff I'm about to go down. So what it was is he just wanted to challenge me about who I was, and like that something was wrong with me because I wasn't.
But that was a fork in the road for you. It's like, look,
I'm
either going to go left or go right.
No, I went right down the middle, homie.
But the point is you have these conversations and you have these questions.
With yourself.
Right.
Yes.
And he couldn't change me.
Exactly.
He couldn't take me
Exactly.
off
These
of my
are
rocker.
conversations we want you to have with yourself. And these are
best conversation I can have. Most intelligent sometimes too.
And I'm schizophrenic too?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, these are the questions that we want you to ask of your significant other. So take a moment and really think about this. Do they treat their family well? And from a female point of view, Dr. Turner, I would say that somebody always told me, look at how a man treats his mother. And I'm going to just leave that right there.
Wow.
Does he treat others well? How does he treat the people who are, whoever, less than them? How do they treat the waitress or the waiter when you're out to dinner? Are they patient with you? Do they bring out the best in you? Can they live with my quirky behaviors? Taifa, you were talking about somebody, cursing or, doing whatever. Can they live with it? Do they, like you said, do they tense up? Are they aggravated? Do they have any red flags? Are they really your friend? I love that question. Are they really your friend? Are they open to trying new things and adventures? Are they open to your perspective? Because a lot of time you have a conversation and they like to talk a lot, but they don't want to hear anything that you have to say. Have they introduced you to their family and their friends? Hold up. Everybody, did y'all hear that? Have they introduced you to their family and friends? If not, think about that.
What if my family jacked up, though?
Well,
that's your authentic family.
That's your authentic family. Right? We are going over questions that you should be asking not of your significant other, but ask yourself of them. Do they include you in all aspects of their life? If not, why not? Think about that. Does this person add joy to your life? We're getting into it on Relationship Tuesday, y'all. We're for real. Do their behaviors and actions match their words?
Can we ask, do they anger easily?
Yes.
Because
do they anger
I don't like
easily?
People who get mad fast. I like to have fun and joking. I've cut people out because in my first date, I'm joked out, like, for real. And they mad. I'm like, well, thank you for this evening, but I had fun.
Great
Sorry
dinner.
you didn't.
Great dinner. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, y'all are going to like the last three. Do they have integrity? You're going to love this. This is one of my favorites. Do they do what they say they're going to do?
Exactly what they say they're going to do.
Exactly what they say they're going to do. And then if they can't, they tell you they can't. Mm-hmm. Are they ready to settle down with one person? And are they looking for a long-term commitment? These are questions to ask of yourself, of that person. And these are questions that you should be throwing into conversation to see if this is the right person for you. Today we're discussing asking the questions that are going to make clear decisions about your relationships. Go ahead, Uche.
That last one, I'm like, that last one is like,
that last one.
That last one is something else. It's the, is that person ready to settle down? And it's like, if you've made the statement, the commitment to be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. It's not about not settling down and not settling down. It's saying, this is what I'm gonna do with the options that I have at this point in my life. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. So when you ask that question, you have to ask that question and know everything involved in that. If you've been with a person that's like, look, this is me, this is what I'm doing at this point in my life, and it's not a point of settling down because I've made the point to not be settled.
Right.
But you have to, people have to know these things, and you have to, in your authentic self, you have to say these things. And you know what? It could mean you're going to lose a relationship with a great person. But isn't it better to lose a relationship with a great person than be in a relationship and you being phony?
Exactly.
And the person's gonna find out who you are anyway.
Exactly, and you're both gonna be miserable. Ty?
I would definitely agree. Another question I would add, to the list that you just shared was be observant also in when you are being introduced to someone's family, how the family responds.
Like, are you another one?
Yeah, there you go.
Or, oh, he
Like,
never brings anyone
exactly.
home. Or, oh, what's your name again?
There you go.
Oh, okay. Hey.
My mom did that
life.
to me one time. I was in college and brought this chick home from college, and she's all excited. We riding from Southeast, and she's all excited. I'm excited, and I walk in. My mom's like, another one? I was like, Lord, I'm like, you didn't just say that.
Oh, yes,
or they call you the name of who they met last week.
Oh.
Or something like that. Or yeah, it could become a challenge.
We are on Relationship Tuesday, and we are breaking down the questions that you should be asking to make clear decisions about your relationship. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, The Good Life Radio Show, TGL Radio Show on Twitter, TGL Radio Show on Instagram, and I'll be posting these questions throughout the day so that you can, really think about the questions you should be asking yourself about the other person. And when we get back, we're going to talk about the questions you should be asking about the entire relationship. This is The Good Life Relationship Tuesday, and we'll be right back.